Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman of New Jersey delivered a passionate speech from the House floor, demanding increased gun control in the wake of several deadly mass shootings. She pointed to nations around the world that have all but eliminated gun violence by outlawing assault weapons. Republicans have countered that the key issue is not gun control, but weak on crime policies implemented by Democratic city councils. It is unlikely new gun control measures will make it out of the House, given the GOP majority. But it appears that that will not stop the Democrats from trying.
Ms. Watson Coleman for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today not only for Half Moon Bay or Monterey Park, but for Oakland and Goshen and San Francisco, for Dallas and for Houston, for Red Springs, High Point, and Durham, for Chicago and Rockford, for Tunica Resorts, for Baton Rouge, Shreveport, and New Orleans, for Fort Pierce, Sanford, Homestead, Ocala, and Miami Garden, for Phoenix, for St. Louis, for Cleveland and Columbus, for Allentown and Philadelphia and Minneapolis, for Denver, for Albany, for Georgia, for Huntsville, for Enoch, for Baltimore, for Dumfries, for Washington, D.C. We are 26 days into the new year, and in those 26 days, there were 40 mass shootings in our country. That is 40 mass shootings, 73 innocent Americans killed. These were mothers and fathers, sons and daughters who should still be with us today, and my heart is broken for every single solitary one of them. How much more heartbreak must our nation endure? How many more lives must we lose? How many more times must we watch as one another, as another safe space, another sanctuary, another school, or a celebration becomes a site for a shooting? How many times must I come to the floor and make this plea? Our moments of silence won't save a single solitary soul. We've seen more mass shootings in the first month of 2023 than in any January on record. The new year should mark new beginnings, new progress, new hope. Instead, we find ourselves moving backward. In less than a month, this year has become one defined by shock and sorrow. For every other country in this developed world has managed to rein in gun violence. In 1996, Australia enacted common sense firearm regulations following a mass shooting, and gun deaths were cut in half. In the UK, just one school shooting pushed the government to pass life-saving gun violence prevention measures. New Zealand banned assault weapons almost immediately after Christchurch massacre. Where our peer nations choose to act, America chooses to stand by in the face of tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. A safer America is possible. We can end the gun violence epidemic. We can build a culture of rational, reasonable, responsible firearm ownership. We can ban the weapons of war used in so many mass shootings. In fact, we've done it in the past. From 1994 to 2004, the United States banned assault weapons, and during that time, gun deaths plummeted, and they shot right back up as soon as the ban was lifted. We have the resources and the precedent to do that again. What we need is a political will. Ending gun violence is not an issue of can't, it is an issue of won't. My Republican colleagues won't ban assault weapons. They won't ban large magazines. They won't pass universal background checks. The gun violence epidemic is a stain upon the fabric of our nation, and that stain grows deeper every second that Congress chooses not to pass substantial gun violence prevention legislation. Last year, we did take a key step in the right direction by passing the bipartisan SAFER Act, Communities Act, but make no mistake, that was a beginning, and we cannot allow it to end there. I'm grateful that my colleague, David Cicilline, plans to reintroduce an assault weapons ban. I, too, am choosing to act. I will soon reintroduce my bill to stop online ammunition sales. Madam Speaker, I stand here confident that my Democratic colleagues will stand behind this common sense legislation. From Sandy Hook to Uvalde, to Monterey Park to Trenton, New Jersey, every mass shooting is a policy choice. Democrats are prepared to choose better, and I demand that Republican colleagues do the same. Thank you, ma'am. I yield back.